Time to talk some politics right now, and we're getting some more details in terms of the Phase 3 reopening plan for the province's economy. With more on this, we're joined by News 1130 legislative reporter Liza Yuzda. Good morning.
Good morning, Thor.
First of all, let's update our viewers on the latest COVID numbers and talk a little bit about how some people think maybe this isn't an issue anymore, but it still is.
It's a good news, bad news. I mean, the good news is zero. We had no more deaths yesterday, so it's been a week and a bit with only one person passing away. But we're still at a total of 168 people who lost their lives and families who are left grieving at this most insane time to try doing that when you have to be distant. But we also saw 19 new cases yesterday. Health Minister Adrian Dix and Bonnie Henry both saying those are concerning. Also, 2 more outbreaks at long-term care centers, and those are, of course, a big concern. I know personally, if people are having a hard decision of how do you open up, how do you not open up, where are we at? On the island here, I considered going to a restaurant, phoned one and said, what are your precautions? They said, well, we're keeping 6 feet. I said, are you wearing masks? And they said, we don't need to. The island's been declared COVID-free. Of course, it hasn't. There hasn't been a case for a month, but that doesn't mean there can't be more. At the beach the other day, there was a man walking very close with his child to ours, and I said, hey, we're trying to keep a big 6 feet circle here. And he's like, oh, we don't need to anymore. We're outside. So I think that people are really chomping at the bit to get going again. But Dr. Henry, Adrian Dix, the Premier, everybody's quite clear that the virus is still here. It is still spreading if you give it a chance. And so we still need to do those precautionary measures like keeping our distance, wearing a mask if we can't do that, to make sure that we don't give it a chance to spread.
Yeah, we need to be calm and be patient and heed the advice from Dr. Bonnie Henry. Let's talk a little bit more about the Phase 3 reopening plan. And Premier John Horgan seems to be encouraging some summer travel.
He was all about it yesterday, said he's ready to make some reservations himself to go travel. Of course, the official word on that doesn't come until next week. It's Tuesday. We will get the modeling numbers from Dr. Bonnie Henry. We've seen them a couple times already over the course of this pandemic, looking at where we are, where we've been and where we might go. And then more things expected to open up. The Premier very clear that they've got a Destination BC ad campaign ready to go to get people in BC, traveling the province, helping out the hard-hit hospitality sector, and getting people from other provinces to come here as well.
And there's a $1.5 billion recovery plan that's coming to the province, and Premier John Horgan is asking for public consultation. This is leaving some people perplexed.
It is, because we've known from the beginning there was $5 billion set aside for the whole pandemic response, $1.5 billion for the recovery. The province has already done consultation with, they've had 1,500 meetings with 20,000 people, stakeholders, community groups. Now they're saying they want to talk to the people of the province. They will be having town halls with different communities talking about how they would like to see the province rebuild, saying this financial concern is not like anything we've seen before. It was a pandemic that hit us suddenly. So the recovery doesn't have to be like anything we've seen before. So I think they're looking to see what can be done that's new and different. Some people are frustrated, saying, you've already done consultation. People are hurting now. Get it in place now. They're saying this isn't a holdup. It's not a delay. They just want to have more input as they're forming this plan going forward.
And finally, what do we do about these skyrocketing condo strata insurance rates?
Well, the short answer is dunno. There was a report that came out this week saying what a lot of people knew. It's terrible. Some people's rates for their strata insurance have doubled or tripled. Some people having a hard time getting it. The insurance industry having a hard time making money, and so they could pull out. So the province has been asked what they can do. They've said it's very difficult because it's a private industry that is handing out this insurance or selling this insurance. But Finance Minister Carol James said next week there are going to be some measures that will at least address some of these issues. That will happen when legislature returns on Monday.
All right, Liza, as always, we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, you take care. That's Liza Yuzda, News 1130's legislative reporter, and Mary's got your top headlines of the day when we come back.